Hello, and welcome to the Blue House Bull Session. Back bulling with you on this gorgeous Wednesday. Gorgeous. Have you been outside? Have you touched grass today yet? Man, it's nice out there. It's days like this I actually don't dislike the dog. He gives me a good excuse to go outside. Not that I need one, but, every once in a while. He just comes in and says, hey, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but I'm making money, see? Y'all world, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. I'll drink up all the Hennessy you got on your shelf. So just let me introduce myself. Okay, that's enough of the Humpty Dance.
I would like to point out, for the record, that two women discussing the Bechdel test does not pass the Bechdel test.
We've been on the air 5 minutes. Are you doing this to me already? I'm going to reroute your conversation because I'm like that. I'm going to talk about me because that's how it goes.
No. You know what we're going to talk about? Ham.
Did you see GDQ last night? Did you watch Hot Fix?
No.
You didn't see Ice Blue speed running tilt and tumble 100%?
No, I didn't know that was going on.
Oh, hey, guess what? Last night Ice Blue was on GDQ Hot Fix. Speed running 100%.
Nice.
We're waiting eagerly. Oh, it was a train wreck. It was a fantastic train wreck, but it was a train wreck. The game is designed to be a train wreck, though,
I was going to say, that doesn't mean if it went well. it's always a train wreck.
As intended, everything was terrible, and they had a whole lot of fun doing it. But yeah, we're eagerly waiting to hear back from the games committee still, because they did submit it, both a regular run and 100% run. But the reception that it got last night is promising, because people are all over it. And tomorrow evening, as part of Community of Champions, a program run by Heroes of Time. I don't have a command for that. I never made one, but hero.gives, right? That's the link. Let me open it and make sure that's the link. That is Heroes of Time, a speedrunning event, a Zelda event, more than just speedrunning, a Zelda event run by some friends of mine. Will be going on this weekend, and this week leading up to it, they are inviting the entire community. You can still get in on this to help fundraise for the American Cancer Society. Do a little stream, do whatever you do, be part of our community, show off your love for the Zelda series, etc., etc. But yeah, tomorrow evening I will be doing a Community of Champions stream. I am going to be playing some variety of Tilt and Tumble. You should tune in. Fuzzy doesn't even know what I'm doing yet. He hasn't heard about this one.
Oh, Lord, no.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm going to be doing my part in support of the event. So definitely make sure this weekend you check out Heroes of Time. Definitely this week, go see if any of your favorite creators are doing anything as part of Community of Champions.
I saw Maya is.
Yeah. We are actually, spoiler alert, we're actually going to be raiding into her charity stream this evening as part of Community of Champions. So be on the lookout for that. I'm very excited for that. She asked me if I'd be around tonight to moderate, and I told her, depends on what time. And she's like, oh yeah, it's Wednesday. I forgot. I forgot. I'm so hyped. Everything's going to be awesome. And I'm looking forward to all of this. Zeldathon's own 6Teeb will be attending in person, so go check out Teeb. He's going to be doing some pretty awesome stuff. You'll see a lot of familiar faces from the Zeldathon community and a lot of other amazing Zelda creators as well. Events run by my good friends MC and Jiggy and Campy DK. Go show her love on them this weekend. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm hyped. I'm very hyped.
Get hyped.
Yes. Although, I want you to know, I told all three of them individually in their DMs. They are dear friends of mine, but I crept into the DMs of each of them, Jiggy, MC, and Campy, and I said, can you get me a promotional graphic for my little sponsor rotator? And you know what I'm still waiting for? For the event this weekend?
Yep.
I'm cutting them a whole lot of slack. This is the debut of an entirely new series of events, and as much as they have experience, it's very different than a lot of other things they've been doing. So I get it. I'm one guy with the 3-person audience. I understand they have other priorities they have to worry about, but
grab that image out of the PDF.
I should.
Out of there's a rectangular image in the FAQ fact sheet thing. It links to a PDF. Just screenshot the rectangular image from that. There, done.
That's what I should have done.
If you've got a background image on it, just do that.
That's all right. It's the first in a series of events. I will be more prepared for the next one. I'm not even involved, and I am over here like, I got to get more prepared. I got to be on top of this. No, I don't got to be on top of this stuff. They're big boys. They can run an event all by their lonesome.
Hey, there's a pro tip for you. If you're doing a thing, you really want community spread the word, have a fucking press kit ready to go.
Yeah.
And by press kit, I mean here's a graphic you can use if you need to use a graphic. Make sure you link to this URL. There, that's the end of your press kit.
Here's your descriptive text if you want something you can read out loud. I get that one too, yeah. No, from being on this side of it a couple times, the charities that I have worked with at Zeldathon are absolutely on top of that, and I love them for it, Because oftentimes I know what a charity does in a broad sense, but having some prepared text that I can read out and say, okay, well, here's a case study, here's a story, here's more description than, oh, they're fighting the war on sick. Your money is buying health. No, I can actually give you specifics and details and all of that. And that's what I like to be able to do. Because as a person who has turned his wallet inside out for these events more than once, I like knowing what is going to happen with this. Where are my dollars going? Are you going to put them in a pile in a field somewhere and burn them while chanting, "Go away, cancer"? As much as I support the endeavor, that's probably not the charity I'm going to reach for first and foremost. But if you tell me which research projects it's going to, okay, I'm in. I'm in on that. If you tell me it's going to treatment, fantastic. If you tell me we're going to take this money and bribe parents not to have sick kids, no. That ain't how it works. That hasn't actually happened, by the way. It's an over-exaggeration for the purpose of rhetoric, but point remains.
Go away, cancer.
The point remains. You know who's really good about that? Direct relief.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Just like how, all the other ones have, like, the whole little talking point and the whole, like, hey, this is what we do. We buy these things, and that whole thing with the packs and stuff, like, yeah.
Yeah. When they have a thing that shows off what goes in, like, a direct relief orange box, an emergency response box. And it's like, that's immediate actionable information, and I can verify that is useful stuff, Also, yeah. I need to talk to you about that later, but that's a whole other thing. I haven't heard anything new, but I want to make sure you know the nothing that I don't know as well, so we're both prepared when we do know something. Point is, I had a point coming into this. Yeah.
Yes, that nothing. That, yeah.
With Heroes of Time coming up, it's very understandable that I would know nothing because Brooke has been very, very, very busy with something else. It's all good, though. It's all good. Talked to my man Jackson Prody today. He is going to be there performing some music with the team. I am hyped to see him. I mentioned this to you on Monday, but we were talking over the weekend, Jackson and I think I may have badgered him into coming out for the Cleveland Gaming Classic in September. I'm still waiting to hear final back on booth confirmation for that, but we want to have our Hergel booth at the Cleveland Gaming Classic as an independent developer, and a ton of my friends have expressed interest in coming out, and I hope everybody makes it. I hope everybody just crowds around. I hope no new people can get to our booth because our loyal fans are there, just to make it look like there's a frenzy.
I still volunteer to do the t-shirt thing.
100%, yes.
I know somebody that can make me a t-shirt.
All sexist jokes aside, yes, you absolutely can wear a shirt that says I identify as a booth babe.
Yes.
I'm into it. But yeah, hopefully we'll have some cool new stuff to show off there. Do some giveaways, show off demos of our games. I don't even know what we're going to do. If we figure out what needs to be done, we'll happily accept your help, but we don't know what we're doing. This isn't exactly a craft show. I can't hand people candles and be like, smell this, okay, you take the money. Or can I? No, I can't. Although
Okay.
we can do some Let's Cafe candles. We can do some promotional stuff. Absolutely. Yes, yes. Health supervision. You can kick us out and be like, all right, you have to go outside. You have to eat a hot dog. You have to drink something that's not Red Bull. You need 2 showers at the same time. We could use that. We could use that. I do need 2 showers at the same time. I do. The weather got warm all at once. So for the
Mhm.
next week, I will be uncomfortably hot and sweaty. And then I'll be normal again because I'll be adjusted until the weather goes from warm to hot. And then I'll be hot. But when it goes from cold to warm, you have the hot feeling right away from the adjustment, from the swing, from the drastic, drastic, drastic. Oh no, he's stuck in a loop. Drastic. Oh hey, I'm not using this one. I can put that back in. Aha. Yeah, yeah. Cool new stuff, man. Cool new stuff. Did you see a new Elder Scrolls game came out?
Yeah, I heard it's doing pretty well too.
They're regressing. They're regressing.
Dev cycles parabolic. Not parabolic.
The bell curve?
No,
The other
the
one.
forwards and backwards one.
Yeah. Whatever it's called.
Panama, race car.
The point is, it's not Skyrim. It's not another Skyrim. The flip side of that is it is Oblivion.
It is also okay. A, they didn't do the remaster. Somebody else did. B, it is largely a graphical lift
Yeah.
because the underlying engine is still broken as shit. One of the content creators, long form story content creators on TikTok I follow, plays, had played all of those games and still does occasionally, and was like, I just closed a rift gate and now I'm stuck under the ground and I can't jump and I can't go under and I can't bring up the menu because I'm perpetually falling, but I can jump.
It's so
So
familiar.
yeah, it's true. It's true to Oblivion.
It's the Oblivion you knew and loved when it came out 50 years ago. Okay, maybe not 50 years ago, but the point. The point.
Look, at least it's clearly labeled in Steam as remastered, so you know it's a different one.
Speaking of 50 years ago.
I was going where some with that. I'll
No, you first.
hold that thought.
Please, yeah.
Don't, for the ever loving God, name something the same as a thing that you already named that thing when it's not a remake of it.
Like
you can get away with
Wolfenstein.
it. If it's a reboot or a remake, but like you're doing it over, but it is that same story. You can get away with it. It's kind of allowed. But don't be like, okay, it would be like if they came out with a brand new game today and called it Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, but it's not a remake of Link to the Past. It's a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom.
Or Doom. Or Mortal Kombat. If
You know why I bring this up?
If they don't add subtitles to it, if they just reuse the name of the original again, and you have to put the year after in parentheses so people know which one you're talking about.
I saw a movie trailer, Jason. For a movie. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
That happened before.
No, it is not a reboot or a remake. It is the next one in the series. And Freddie Prince Dingleberry and Sarah Michelle, too damn old, are in it again, reprising their characters, and it's their kids being attacked. no subtitle. No, I still know what you did 3 summers ago. No, I know no. It is the name of the original one from 1997,
Now,
but it's the next movie.
what about Animal Crossing? They all have subtitles. City
Yeah,
Life, New Leaf, Wild World, they all have subtitles. It's not just
yeah,
Animal Crossing, it's Animal Crossing something something, with the exception of the first one.
yeah.
So that is okay. If you put a number, if you put a subtitle to indicate that it's different, if you add something as a differentiator as opposed to solely reusing the title. Mortal Kombat had a whole bunch in a series. They had Mortal Kombat and then 2 and then 3 and then Sub-Zero Legends and all the other adventure ones. And then they released another game just called Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm yelling about. That's what he's yelling about. That's what we're collectively yelling about.
But that Mortal Kombat was actually a full reboot because they hadn't made a Mortal Kombat game in a long period of time, and it was a whole new engine, whole new team, whole new everything. You again, if it's a whole new remake of it or relaunch, that's one thing.
Yeah.
I found out why the movie did that. In 2014, they were trying to do that. They had it all lined up to relaunch the series, redo the original story, sort of, but go off in a slightly new and just relaunch it, and then it completely fell apart. But they had all the licensing and all the shit lined up and ready to do that, so they had to reuse the name.
Yeah. Still. Even Dino agrees. Yes, buddy. I got you. What are some sequels that had really clever naming schemes?
The entire Fast and the Furious franchise.
3 Fast and 5 times more Furiouser? Yeah, I agree. That was pretty good.
Except for one of them that was just called Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Because the first movie was
The Fast and the Furious.
Right, and then I think it was 3 was Fast and Furious. Die Hardest, yes. Oh my god, that was so good. That was so perfect. Somebody's like, unless you come up with something actually good, we have to go with this because it's just we have to do it.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're going to call it.
Yeah. Cannot disagree. Uh-oh, I have an app here. Okay, never mind. That's important, but yeah. That's important for later. I got a ping in a server I don't usually get.
Paycheck?
Yes. Illinois McGee. What was the id Software back when they still made 2D platformers? What was their Indiana Jones knockoff? I can't remember. They had one of those state name adjective treasure hunter. When they were still doing Commander Keen's and Duke Nukem's in 2D and all of that. Man.
See, I'm trying to think of anything else other than Die Hardest.
Yeah, a lot of people are afraid to get too clever with their names, which I understand. You have to make it alarmingly clear that you're still part of the same series because a lot of people will not infer it unless it's stated directly.
Well, going back to Zelda, the one thing I kind of hated was the title of the games is on the wrong game, but it's always one step to the left. It's like somebody pre-planned out the titles to the themes, but zero indexed it wrong, and they're all just one off.
Yeah, like the one game where you are connected, you are linked to the past. That game, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing about Zelda that came up in conversation during Hotfix yesterday that I want to say to you just because I want to watch your head blow up like that one scene from Scanners. This is not what I am doing tomorrow. This is not what I am doing tomorrow. I want to make that abundantly clear. I haven't committed to doing this at all. But you know how Zelda 2 was the side-scrolling one? Quap.
Ben!
Zelda 2 with Quap controls. Poor Ice Blue, they're over there like, please quit making these suggestions because I'm the one that has to play them. Man. You know, if we do get a game into GDQ, oh, we have someone that hasn't heard of. Oh, okay. Allow me to share with you a most amazing thing. Let me find a YouTube video here. Let me bring up the speed run. There we go. And share my screen. This is the one we're looking for.
You have the letters QW on one side and OP on the other, giving you easy access to 2 fingers of control.
And if they're used to control individual muscles in a person's body. Okay, this is the speed run. This is not the best demonstration of it. This is pro level play here. But yes, this game came out quite a while ago. And the QW keys control the constriction of your left and right thighs, and the OP keys control the constriction of the muscles in your left and right calves. So you have to operate the legs of the character. He's gonna do it. He's actually gonna make it.
This is the ultimate diamond in the rough. This is the 1% of the 1,000,000% of the 1% of good plays of this game.
Yeah.
Nobody makes it this far.
Yeah.
This is, if you've ever seen any speedrunner play any game ever.
I love you too. You have to get down, buddy. You have to get down.
That's what you just watched of somebody
Yes.
just casually running.
Buddy.
And now we silently judge Jason's
Yes, we sure do.
YouTube recommendations.
Here's one with some commentary.
What's up, everybody? It's Critical, and this is a video for the most difficult game I've ever played in my life. It's called QWOP, and it's fucking impossible. So, I'm commentating this while I'm playing. I'm struggling to get my character to take the proper
track
running
and field
stance.
pad. I had that.
But
I was good at it.
what it is you are an Olympic runner by some incredible feat. But apparently this guy has no bones or cartilage, and you must somehow control this weird ass to a 100-meter finish line. So, yep, O and P move the calves while Q and W move the thighs. And it is fucking impossible. Yep, that slowed me down here a little bit, but
I think I picked the most on-brand
yes,
runner for
big
this.
step, big personal
I hope
best,
you're getting the
no.
audio of this run, Fuzzy.
Bit the dust on that one.
I am.
Oh, good.
Oh, here we go. This is gonna be good. Come on. Oh, we are. Wait. Oh, he's moving his arms. Shit! Oh! Oh, yeah, it looked painful. Oh shit.
So yeah,
Oh,
this for
ooh,
Zelda
I
2.
am not making too much
All
progress.
the
Shit.
side-scrolling
Oh my
sections
goodness.
control like this.
What happened to his leg there? That was weird. Oh, I'm running backwards. That sucks. Set a personal best in the wrong direction though. Might as well take that for what it's worth.
It'll be
Oh, here we go. Oh
a
shit.
thing of beauty and a joy forever.
What is there any kind of strategy to this? I can kind of run backwards, but
Not
that's
be a
about it. I
total
can't go
moron.
past 1.4 for anything. This QOP, fucking codename the robot's asshole, is probably impossible. I don't think. Oh, actually, this is looking pretty good.
And now he's figured out the
Oh
ankle
yeah, this
scoot
is the technique
strategy.
right here. This is how it's done. Now this is truly a flawless running stance. Oh yeah, this is good. This is how I'm gonna approach this. Going for gold. Oh shit. Oh shit. No, no, he's on his knees. Oh my.
New
Yeah, that
record.
looked painful.
By the way, interesting piece of trivia for you if you did not notice it. The name at the top there, copyright 2008 Foddy.net.
Yep.
Do you know where you know that name from?
Yeah.
Getting over it.
I know this. Yeah.
Getting over
With
it with
Benjamin Foddy.
Bennett Potty. Yeah.
Bennett.
This
Bennett.
is where he got his start. Is in this kind of stuff in Flash.
Yep.
So yeah, Quap Zelda 2. That has been put onto my radar. That has been planted in the compost heap of my brain, and now I can't stop thinking about it. It could be a thing. It could be a thing. So yeah, keep your eyes open for any charity streams you hear me talk about, because this is the kind of stuff that I like to do for them. This is what I enjoy making happen.
You know what I would do
Tell me.
if I had a slightly different skill set?
Hmm.
I would get one of those little wooden IKEA figurine posable models.
Yeah.
You know, the wooden man guys.
Yeah, mini
And I would
mannequins, yeah.
Make some electronics on it, and make it where I would like manually puppet the legs on the model, but put like tension sensors on it and tie those. When I bent it, it would send the quap controls, so I could actually mimic the legs running to send the things in time. So I could go like this with the figurine and lift up and move forward on an invisible treadmill to send the quap controls to make it run perfectly in the right, muscle constriction kind of way.
A Quap controller that's an actual dude.
Yeah.
Okay. You have. I know some people too. We may have more to discuss.
Like, here's the thing. I have enough knowledge to know all of the parts I need to do that exist. I know the tension sensors. I know the rubber band controls, the things, and you just feed those sensors into GPIO pins into an Arduino board to map those. When this is extended, send a Q. When this is extended, send a P. So on, and just send those out over a standard HUD four button keyboard controller over USB and send that in. I know all these parts exist. I don't have the knowledge to actually do it, but I know all of those parts exist.
Yeah, you know what it would take to do it. The actual implementation you might not be solid on, but everything else
I know
got.
eggs and flour and butter exist, and I know cakes exist, and I know they make a cake. I don't know what to do in the middle of it to actually make it happen, but I know these exist and they turn into this, but I don't know how to bake a cake.
That's why I like pound cake. If nothing else, you at least know how much you need of what.
I did not cook the ham.
You did not cook the ham?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it dawned on me, it was a fully cooked ham. So I was going to take the first couple layers off and take them off as lunch meat ham.
Right.
And then cook the rest. And I'm sitting there and I'm doing that. And I'm looking, I'm like, why am I going to cook this? It's cooked. I'm just heating it. I'm going to spend 3 hours heating this block of meat to eat a little bit of it, to put it back in the fridge in the same form, just
Yeah.
warmer.
Yeah.
I'm going to heat it to cool it because I'm not going to eat that much. I have a microwave. I can just heat some of the ham. I have a convection oven. I could just heat some of the ham. Why am I going to spend 4 hours with an oven going to heat the ham?
Right. If you were going to serve a bunch of people, that would make a whole lot of sense to do. But if you are serving just you, you can heat it in increments that you are going to eat. If you want it hot in the first place, since it's pre-cooked.
Right.
So I should not be in any hurry to receive your ham bone, is what I'm hearing, because you are peeling it off as you need it.
No, I sat there and peeled it all off the bone.
Oh, bless you.
So I could get the bone to you, so I could bag up a good chunk of it to put in the freezer, because that was the other thing. I was going to take off the first inch or so, the first couple layers as
Yeah.
lunch meat ham, heat the rest, and then I was going to freeze a lot of it to eat over the next month. But I'm like, why don't I just take it all off, divvy it up, put some right in the freezer, so I'm not heating it up to freeze it? Because that was the thing. It's like I'm just going to heat it up to put it in the freezer. Yes, I got a really good deal on a ham at work for like 78 cents. I bought a 10-pound ham. You don't realize how much 10 pounds of ham is until you physically have to handle and take off of the spiral slice, till you physically have to handle 10 pounds of ham.
Mm-hmm. If you
It's
end
a
up
lot
with
of ham.
If you end up with too much, but I digress.
I'm also bringing you ham.
I will not turn it down. But he did ask me if I wanted the ham bone so I could make a big old pot of beans because, we're both hillbillies at heart somewhere in there.
Yes.
So
I did leave a good chunk of meat on there for that reason also.
Oh, they're going to be so good. I am unreasonably excited for this.
I'll probably bring it to you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'll put it on tomorrow. It should be done sometime on Sunday. Put the slow cooker on. Are you sure it's on?
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing. It's like, all the insurance like, put it on for like 270 degrees for like 3 or 4 hours. And I'm like, that's not that hot. I'm just heating this. Why am I doing this?
Yeah. No, I get that.
It's one of those things my brain thinks about, is why am I doing this? What is the end goal of this? Because maybe your instructions are just dumb and there's a better way to do this if we know the outcome.
Right. The instructions on the package of the ham are presuming you are serving it to a large group of people at a dinner. And that is exactly how you prepare a pre-cooked, chilled, spiral sliced ham for that. But they don't account for all the other situations where you may want it, because why else would you be buying a big spiral sliced ham unless you're serving it to dinner? Otherwise, you're just going to buy lunch meat. No, I'm buying it because it's 8 cents a pound.
And then, because it was our store brand, I got another 10% off of that, which was another 78 cents off. So that ham was even cheaper than that.
Yeah. I have to catch you at the next holiday and get myself a meat, a ham or a turkey or whatever.
This is, I got pointed out by the meat guy who comes in at 5-ish. And he's like, hey, I'm putting out the hams. If you're going to get one today because they will sell fast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And he takes the sign out of the paper, puts it on there. And I'm like, that's not a lot of sense. How much are they normally? And he's like, $4.30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is not a lot of sense then.
Yeah.
but you make good with the meat carving guy, and he lets you know, and you send a friendly hello to the deli ladies, and they let you know when the good cheap bologna comes in, because you're the weirdo that comes in and gets quarter-pound slabs
Dinner,
of bologna.
dinner sliced bologna. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm still mad that Nathan's discontinued the dinner franks. Unless they just don't ever carry them anywhere. In favor of the large quarter-pound super jumbo restaurant-sized whatever, they got rid of the actual quarter-pound dinner franks.
Oh yeah.
They have slightly smaller ones in a fancy whatever.
Yes, we're talking about food because literally my whole life revolves around food now, and
Same.
being exposed to it. Captain Crunch orange cream sickle cereal.
I don't know.
I bought a box of it because it got discounted because the box got crushed, so they put in the thing, and then I bought it. So I'm like, you know what? For $1.50, I'll try it. It is delicious. I'm going to buy more tonight.
It is?
It is very good. I will bring you a baggie full of it with the ham.
I will not turn that away because I was curious, but I don't know if I would be brave enough to try it on my own, you know? Yes, Nathan's discontinued them in favor of the colossal franks.
Oh! Yeah, I've seen those.
But before that, they had the dinner franks. And it's not that much of a difference in size, but the dimensions are decidedly different.
Mm-hmm. It goes in the square hole.
Yes, exactly. They already were bun length. They were bun length and girthy, and now they are longer than bun length and not girthy. It's inconvenient. I shouldn't eat as many hot dogs as I do anyway, though. I know that. I should be eating actual healthy, like people food. If I were a smart person, nobody ever accused me of that. Tee hee.
Oh man, they had the 3-pound mega pack of hot dogs on sale, and I missed it because I slept in that day.
Oh dang!
I didn't go get. I was gonna go get like 3 or 4 packs of them because I love me a hot dog, and I will eat hot dogs in ways that aren't hot dogs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'll put them in beans.
I'll take the time to make little octopus dogs to put in my ramen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I embrace my inner child. I did that for Desi once, and she was just absolutely taken aback and tickled pink by the fact that I, supposedly grown up, would make octopus hot dogs for us in fancy ramen.
On Sunday, it was Sunday
Yeah.
in ways that it also wasn't Easter.
Yeah.
And I was looking for things to eat, and I had a can of crescent rolls that I needed to eat before too long. And I'm sitting there and I'm unpeeling the crescent rolls, and I'm going to, roll them up triangularly like you do a crescent roll. And I'm like, it's a triangle. You're supposed to roll it like this. But you're just taking an arbitrary length of it and rolling up the triangle. In one of those peanut butter and jelly sort of ways, like, what stops you from rolling it with a different side and rolling it up? Because there's 3 sides to the triangle. You could take a side and roll it up 3 different ways. Let's try it. So I did. So I rolled up crescent rolls in different permutations just to see.
Yeah.
Don't do that. They come out dumb.
Science. For the sake of science, you had to try. You take a hot dog, you cut it in half. And then about halfway or 3/4 of the way up, you split it a couple times so you have the 8 little things. And then you can dot in with condiments or carve out with a toothpick or whatever, little eyes and a mouth. When you cook them, whether you fry them or boil them, or when you cook them, as the meat changes shape, the tentacles will naturally curve and bend. You don't have to do anything. They turn into tentacles from just being little split flaps.
Oh, I
But-
thought you were talking like with spaghetti,
No, I mean this kind. I mean this kind.
like just hot dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm talking about with you take lengths of spaghetti
And you jam it
crisscross
into
it,
the
and then
hot
you
dog
boil-
and you
and
yeah.
then you get that makes the legs. Yeah.
Those are kind of more like jellyfish though.
Well,
Well,
not if you only
no.
put 2 and then you get 8 legs.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, these are the octopus dogs that I made. And they were very good. They always are. Or at least as good as hot dogs are. If you don't like hot dogs, you will probably not enjoy them.
That's something else that I do with hot dogs. This is gonna sound like blasphemy, but I'll make spaghetti and I'll have a jar of pasta sauce, and I will, not coin like I will square up some hot dogs into
Yeah.
vaguely roundish shapes, and I will throw them in the spaghetti like white trash meatballs.
Hey, they sell SpaghettiOs with Franks in them, okay?
Yeah.
So that's not uncommon. That is not bad at all. I eat that voluntarily of my own free will. But yeah, absolutely. I enjoy Skyline chili in their various dishes and all of that. I have cans of pre-mixed chili and broken spaghetti because Skyline sells it that way. That is fantastic as a hot dog topping.
Yep.
The chili is good on a hot dog. The chili with spaghetti is good on a hot dog.
Oh man, I was covering for somebody and I was doing in the pasta aisle.
Yeah.
And that's also where all the Chef Boyardee and stuff is. And that's where the hot dog sauce is at.
Yeah.
And man, I opened that box and I saw those cans of hot dog sauce and I broke down in tears.
Memories. Yeah.
And no, I couldn't explain to anybody why. And I knew why just all those years with Michael and that.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh.
When I walk past it, the same thing goes through my mind, I assure you. How many days? How many days?
And him and the potted meat.
Mm-hmm. Here we pureed these entrails. Oh yeah, give me some of that with mayonnaise and cheese.
Yeah.
The things we eat. The things our family taught us to eat. Oh, it's alarming. It's alarming.
Oh, we were talking about bad names earlier?
Yeah.
I have a jar of Slickles upstairs.
Gesundheit.
Slickles. They're sliced pickles. Because Stackers was already taken. It's not gherkin Stackers. It's just, vertically slices of pickles. So they call them Slickles.
Yes. Yes, we absolutely ate that potted meat. We sure did. Semi-voluntarily.
You put it on some bread with some cheese and some mayo, maybe some black pepper or some other stuff.
It
You
sure
throw
is sustenance.
You throw some spice and a slice of American cheese on just about any meat-ish product, and it's a sandwich.
I have heard tale of people that make a cream-based gravy out of potted meat.
I could see that.
No, he absolutely is not the only one. Desi Jade can confirm it. I had bought it before to eat it. by choice of my own free will. And she said, "What's that?" And I said, "You will live a longer, happier life if you never know, but I will tell you if you insist." And she
It
did,
is
so I
meat.
did. And then she said, "You can have it."
No, not spam. Spam is pressed.
Potted meat is a spread. If you need to know any further than that, you are welcome to search it. I will leave that to you, though, and I will give you the same warning.
It is actually meat, though.
Yes, yes. In
That is
that
where I will end the description.
it originates from some variety of animal.
Think think smaller, think lower to the ground.
Now,
More legs.
it is most often beef and chicken usually. But the point is,
Yeah.
the point is. No, yeah, and lots of strange things we eat with our assorted hillbilly backgrounds. I have eaten squirrel. I would not seek it out with any regularity, but I have eaten squirrel. Lizard, probably. Do you count gator? I've eaten plenty of gator.
I've had lizard,
Wayne,
but I lived in Arizona for like 4 weeks.
yeah. Wayne was big on gator. We ate gator multiple times over at my other uncle's house. I've eaten many things. I enjoy trying new foods and broadening my horizons. Just, I'm the guy that'll order the exact same thing every time I go to a restaurant, but I will absolutely go to a million different restaurants and try everything until I find the one thing I'm going to order every time I'm there. I'm adventurous, but depends on how you cook it. There are a lot of ways to cook it that make it significantly less tough. The toughness of gator is all about how it is prepared.
Gator is a stew meat.
Yeah. You invest the time in making it tender, but it is worthwhile when you do. Speaking of meat, we gotta go meat soon. I miss meat. We'll have to find an excuse to go out and meet sometime in the next few months. Sometime before 6 months from now. 5 months? When's September? 9. 9 minus 4, that's 5. Within the next 5 months, we need to find an excuse to meet before the next time we have an excuse to meet.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe I'll take my nice bonus check I'm supposed to be getting from work. Apparently, I was involved in a project that they gave out bonuses for. Hooray.
I caused some controversy at work.
Oh? Do tell.
So on the schedule, they have these calendars at work of like holidays and this thing, just so everybody knows what days are like, you know. And on there's a night crew day. Treats just for the night crew. Right? It's like
Yeah.
once a month. And we kind of skipped it over the first couple months I was there. I thought maybe just I'm new. I don't know. Maybe it's just like it's on there, but it's not actually a thing. And then I asked about it, like, oh yeah, we're supposed to do something, but we always forget. Took a highlighter, and I just went up to one of them and I went, and I just highlighted that night crew day on both the calendars. And then the next month, when they put the new ones up, somebody else highlighted that. And I'm like, oh. Yes, shut up. I already took my pills. So now my boss is like, so apparently we have to start doing something. So last month he got us Swenson's.
Ooh.
And apparently he's getting us Taco Bell this month.
Oh, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I want one of them Baja Blast Crunch Wraps. Just take a tortilla, pour a bunch of soda in it, fry it until the place burns down.
No. You pour the Baja Blast in a baking sheet, and you let it evaporate out, and you get like Baja Blast crystal meth, basically. And then you put that into a grinder, and so you can grind up and put Baja Blast crystals over stuff.
I finally ate the last of my Baja Blast gelato. I'd been saving it, and last night it got super hot. So I finally had the last of my Baja Blast gelato. I'm praying they bring that back because that was way better than it had any right to be. It was a little pricier than I would have liked for the amount you got, but it was so good. It was so good.
Let me see if we have it.
Uh-oh.
No, they don't.
What were you looking for?
Baja Blast.
Oh, fair.
Or the ice cream, rather.
Yeah,
Yeah, that special section.
You live near one of those fancy ones that gets the new stuff first.
Yeah, for some weird reason, too.
Some kind of test market, whatever.
It gets stupidly high traffic because it's right off the highway.
That's true. That's true. And it's kind of like dead center between a couple major cities. So it's like if you're passing through, it's like, well, I don't want to stop in downtown Cleveland. I'm going to go all the way to Toledo.
It's right off the highway. It's right before a turnpike exit. It's right next to a major gas station. And then you could like pit stop there, get Taco Bell, get gas station, get back on the turnpike.
Speaking of gas stations, did you hear they opened a Wawa in our state?
No.
It is on the diametrically opposite side of the state from us, but it exists. It is south of Dayton.
Oh.
Come back when it's a Buc-ee's? Yeah. One at a time. Look, we finally got Sheets over here, all right? I'm taking my small victories where I can. But we now have a Wawa in the state. I'm one step closer to being able to lure all our speedrunner friends up here. Campy, you want to go get a sub? Let's go to Wawa. The one down in Dayton, I'll meet you there. I am just going to take all the cultural necessities and drag them up towards our area until I can convince all my friends to come here.
Oh man, if there was a Buc-ee's. Oh.
Come on, they finally built us a cookout. If there were a Buc-ee's, I'm telling you.
I would apply there.
100%.
I would work retail to work at a Buc-ee's.
Man.
I would never leave.
I could dig it. I mean, when we were working
Like
at the
GameStop, just give me 25% of my paycheck in store credit because I'm gonna turn around and spend it right here.
Yeah. Takes me back to the good old days when we were working at the mall. The several of us that lived together all worked at different places and different shifts at the mall. So all of us would go to the mall in the morning before they opened, and all of us would come back after they closed, and we would do our jobs when we were on the clock and wander around and give each other a hard time when we were off the clock, which often included doing parts of our jobs anyway.
Yeah. And then there was Michael, who did not work there.
Yeah, Michael was not gainfully employed at the arcade we worked at, but he worked there just as hard as any of the rest of us. Oh.
Man, that homeless man sure is gonna DDR.
The good old days, I'm telling you. The good old days. All right, we're coming up on break time here. If you need to take a break, take your medication, get a drink, go to the bathroom, take the dog out, whatever you need to do, go do your thing. We're going to take about 5 or 6, run a quick ad, and then we will be right back. So, you know, I can't say don't go anywhere. I want you to get up and stretch. I want you to touch grass. I want you to get yourself a beverage. But make sure you come back in about 5 minutes. That's all I ask. We will see you shortly. Be right back. Hello and welcome back to the Blue House Bull Session. Back here bulling with you. Happy to be here on this Wednesday, the April of April, the warm of hello, it's spring. It's summer because spring just kind of didn't this year. By spring, I mean it rained for 3 days straight, and now we are into summer. In April, nonetheless. I am not worried about the climate at all. No reason to panic, despite the fact that we've had opening day baseball games called on account of snow before.
Multiple times.
Why is that? Why is that such a politicized issue? Why is that so polarized? I know the answer. I don't want to. I'm going to talk about happy stuff instead. I want to be happy. I hope it's the pleasant kind of cold. I hope it's a dry cold. Is that what I'm trying to say? I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. I hope you survive it in any case. But it is absolutely temperate here. Rainy and wet. Yeah, I could see that being a bummer. We always welcome corgi pics. Hey, cheer everybody up. Throw them in the Discord. Hey, what a perfect segue for me to put a command in chat. Join the Discord. Make sure you're kept appraised to everything that's going on. I'm pretty sure everyone here is already in the Discord, but just in case, I'm going to shout it out. You know, go join the Fan Info Discord. See what kind of craziness we're up to. Get alerted when things happen, like my charity stream tomorrow, which I'm going to plug again. Come cheer on the American Cancer Society and support Heroes of Time. And I saw that. What you thinking? You're thinking something. I hear you thinking. The diffusers are clicking over here.
No, I was wondering why we still don't have a podcast channel in there to put links and stuff from the podcast. And also we can like ping the at podcast room when we start, to like on weeks we don't or whatever.
Because I'm lazy. Although now that I'm thinking about it, if I create a channel now, I can always go back and fix it later. I'll make a BHBS channel. There we go. Now we have a channel. I'll set it up properly later, but now we have a channel. The toughest part is done. But yeah. You know. It's the randomizer, Fuzzy. It's the randomizer is what I'm playing tomorrow. Because Tilt and Tumble wasn't tough enough in the first place. Let's put everything in the wrong place, too.
We have a memes channel. It's called Yield Chat.
Yeah, throw them in there. Throw them in general. Throw them in whatever. I made a channel for the... Okay. I don't want to hyper-categorize everything. I enjoy the organic nature of conversation that comes from having a Talk Here channel. I made a specific development one so that if you really do not like that stuff or it goes over your head and you don't want to, if you want to opt out, you can. That's why we keep the nerd stuff in there. That channel doesn't exist. Go away. Go away. The streamer's channel is your self-promotion channel. Shout yourself out in there when you're streaming. The counting channel will be back someday. Notes to self. That's just a place for ideas. What else do we have? We have the test channel, which is a channel for when I am testing things. We got one for Minecraft. We got one for Blueprints. Now we have one for the podcast. And then the project channels are kind of winnowing down anyway because a lot of those are moving over to Hergel stuff. And then we have the Amaya Singh stuff because rather than start her own server, she opted to join ours as part of our network. Anyway, no, you can't have a memes channel. Post your memes in public like the grown-ups do. That's why we don't have a pet pics channel. Post your pet pics there. We like pets. That's why we don't have a not safe for work channel. Well, actually, probably don't post your...
Just don't.
Yeah. I mean, you can. Just spoiler tag them and warn people just in case. Know that you're subject to the rules, which are I make the rules because I am king. And I'm not saying you have to be in my kingdom. I'm just saying if you're in my kingdom. Yeah, perfect. See, I like it. It's ideal. It's optimal. This is the peak of discourse happening right here. Oh man. Man, oh man. So I've been playing Blueprints. I sure have. I've slowed down a little bit because I've been working on other stuff. But I am still very invested in, like work. I'm still very invested in solving the rest of the mysteries in Mount Holly. But I'm hitting a point. We talked about this with Rogue Legacy 2 and the accessibility options, and you said there is no shame in using them. Make the game fun for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hitting a point in Blueprints where I'm not sure if I'm having fun anymore or not. But I want very much to know things. And the problem is, I am skilled enough at computers and software that there are options I have that don't necessarily involve playing through the game in the intended way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm weighing because you can't put that genie back in the bottle once you open it. And I'm trying to decide. And so far, just keep playing the game is winning, but it's starting to lose ground. Especially because I have been giving consideration to seeing what I could do in terms of modifying the game. See, I don't know if you know this, but for Zeldathon, many times in the past, I have taken a popular game and modified it in some way to make it on brand for Zeldathon.
Blueprints ice physics.
Well, I was going for Hyrule Prince, but hey, that works too. You want ice physics? I'll tell. Okay, you know the sliding puzzles in games. You pick a direction and you continue going until you hit a wall.
Yeah.
That's what we need in a roguelike game.
No.
We need a dungeon crawler where you keep moving in that direction until you hit the wall. Or an enemy or a treasure chest or what have you. But a slide puzzle roguelike. You can see it too, can't you? It's starting to gel in your head.
I don't. I hate it.
I hate it, but I want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
An HD remake an HD remake of Chip's Challenge with third-person shooting. Okay, third-person Chip's Challenge in the first place, though, would be pretty dang cool.
You mean first person?
No. I mean over-the-shoulder third-person view.
Oh, okay.
Not top-down. Over-the-shoulder third-person Banjo-Kazooie controls. I'm picking an game at random to as an illustration, but that. Yeah, Chip. Oh no. That implies something very different. Although now you've got me very curious. Chip's Challenge by FromSoft. Okay. All right. So a Souls-like Chip's Challenge. We could call it Dork Souls. I think I've broken poor Fuzzy. I've broken him. I've ruined him. His brain is polluted now. You know. Yes, you do know. Okay. I could see. Yeah, It's not without merit. I am going to say that. It absolutely has the genesis of something there. There is a seed there that could be developed into a pretty dang good thing. In my ever so humble opinion. Yeah, make sure tomorrow night you come watch me play that other game that I ruined mercilessly. And of course, if I do anything to ruin Blueprints, I'm going to make sure I tell all you guys about it.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing work on some of the other games. It hasn't all quite come together the way we want yet, but we did make our wish list and need list of things we wanted to work on next, and we have been very actively developing things. Here's your Hergel update. We had a meeting. We're making things. Turns out they're video games in most cases. Jacob's been hard at work. Adding multiplayer to games that I didn't even know were going to be multiplayer. Yeah, that's his style. He and I were talking about that the other day, and it came up that it's not that I have any objections to him adding multiplayer. It's just I don't think about multiplayer first because I don't play a lot of games with other people. I am bad at video games, and it left a sour taste in my mouth. So my default mindset is this is a single-player game that may offer multiplayer functionality. There's one exception to that, but we'll come back to it. Jacob is a very extroverted, outgoing social person, and he's got a large group of people that he plays video games with. So his default thought is games are multiplayer and should support single-player as well. So
Yeah.
Things like Dungeon Golf, he's like, I want to add split screen. And I'm like, why would you need two screens? And he said, well, if, both people are in the same room. And I'm like, what do you mean both people? This is a one-person game. And he says, does it have to be? I suppose not. It could be fun to go through a dungeon together. And especially in a physics-based thing like a golf dungeon, that could be even more fun because it's suddenly gone from golf to croquet.
And proximity voice chat.
The big exception.
Okay.
Big exception to the multiplayer stuff is Interstellar Salvager, and that one has been cropping up on our radar again recently. Because we have figured out that it turns out if you're doing it in a real game engine instead of trying to put one together out of bubblegum and baling twine in JavaScript, that you can actually make.
You do it in JavaScript, just that dumbass physics library you were trying to shoehorn to be a 2D game.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are other benefits we are given by using a real game engine for it as well.
What do you mean when we gaming? I don't play games anymore.
Yeah, see, that's the issue is both of us have been keeping a busy enough schedule that it's when we get a chance. We have every intention on it still. I'm going to do a repo night soon. I just do not know how soon. When exactly is soon. For example, tomorrow night I'm streaming. Friday night I'm very likely streaming. The rest of this weekend is hot, and I'm on standby just in case. I'm not actively doing anything to help with the event, but I am always going to be there to support my friends as best I can. And then after that, it's Monday, and I'm busy on Monday nights. And then after that, it's Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know what's happening on Tuesday yet. We'll find out. But then after that, it's Wednesday, and we're doing this again. It's so difficult to bake in time because you got to make sure everyone's schedule is. It's the classic D&D problem. Everyone would play D&D if it were easier to just accidentally start when 3 or more of you were together. But the larger the group, the difficulty of scheduling becomes exponentially tougher.
D&D needs a way. Okay. The problem is all the players want to play, but they all need to play at the same time
Yeah.
because there's only one DM and he needs to run the world because a lot of time they're bullshitting and making up as they go. If you take out the DM out of the equation and you make that some sort of procedurally generated, not quite AI, but like the game engine itself can run the game for you. If you have 3 people together, they can go on an adventure. If you have 2, or everybody can go and do their own stuff, but you interact with them in the same world at their leisure. You basically have like asynchronous D&D chess by mail type thing. And people could play to their ability at their own rate, at their own scale, but together.
Neverwinter Nights
there-
came so close to being able to do that.
Yeah.
I think the problem with Neverwinter Nights is it came out too early. Because they knew exactly what they needed to do, and they just didn't quite have all the technologies in place to do it yet.
Absolutely.
And I still miss
I
my
mean-
rings.
I mean, it's basically... basically what we're talking about at that point is just an MMO.
Yeah. When the Neverwinter Nights 2 Collector's Edition was originally released on PC 100 million years ago, the Collector's Edition shipped with all kinds of goodies. You got a cloth map and you got a blah, blah, blah. And you got 2 silver rings, one of which was engraved Lawful Good and one of which was engraved Chaotic Evil. And I bought it and I had those rings and those rings went away and I have no idea where. And I would pay a stupid sum of money to have them again because I would wear them all the damn time. But trying to find a copy of a 20-year-old computer game with all the bells and whistles is tricky. But it's on my rich list. You know, if I had more money than I knew what to do with, what would I do? I would make that happen one way or another. What's on your rich list? If you had too much money and didn't know what to do with it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, let me just click on this link. That can't possibly... Thank you. Thank you. Good Lord, thank you. How? How? I check regularly. How? Thank you. I appreciate you more than you know.
Those ones?
Yeah, those ones.
Okay.
Anyway, what's on your rich list? When you have more money than you know what to do with. What are you going to get?
I don't know. I was very well gainfully employed for many years. And then I got another well-paying internet job also doing that. So I had a very large surplus of disposable cash for a number of years. I bought things. I was the worst person to shop for because I did not want things. I either did not know they existed or they were en route.
Fair. Fair. I have received packages for you here, so I can confirm that too.
I don't know what is on my. Do I have anything left on my? I've been whittling it, going through my Amazon wish list and whittling stuff down as they. Like, no, I don't actually want that. Why is that even on that list?
I had it there for an reason at one point in time, but it's not a thing that I actively want.
Is there anything on my birthday wish list? Yes, there is.
I know what I'm getting you for your birthday. It's coming up soon. You know how I know? Because I asked you what you wanted for your birthday, and you gave me an idea. I think you're going to like it. Mostly because you already told me that you would like it. That is the thing that you wanted.
I don't know. Like, what order of magnitude of rich list are we talking?
Let's just picking numbers out of the air. I'm going to say, what's your $1,000 budget dumb item? You know, you have $1,000 and you don't have to worry about putting it towards anything else.
A really good high-end video card.
Fair.
Like whatever the most over-the-top ridiculous 50, 60, 90 Ti Ultra overclock, like whatever the beefiest for no goddamn reason video card.
I want all the triangles.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, you guys.
I mean, I'm still running a 2070 and I haven't hit anything it can't do. Like I only a couple games like, oh, you can't play it on ultra, you can only play it on maximum. I'm like, okay.
See, right now I've got a 30 period hard stop. I have a 30. It draws a triangle if you ask it nicely occasionally. I can't complain too much. The card I've got will drive 3 monitors and you can play a 3D game.
Yeah.
And I don't play big fancy AAA stuff as a general rule, so it handles pretty much everything I throw at it.
It plays 14, it plays Minecraft. Okay.
Yeah. It's functional. Do I need to make you guys a Magic the Gathering channel? Is this going to turn into the Discord sorting stream?
No.
I can't rule that out. It wouldn't be the first time. I'll keep it in mind, though. Because we got a bunch of people in there that do actively play, you know. Bring it up. Get Spell Table going. We'll play, what was it? Eye of Judgment? Was that it? The PlayStation 2 card game that used the PlayStation Eye camera? Oh, God. We'll play that. We'll bring it back.
You could bring that back, but you could only do it on a Mac.
Yeah.
The new Macs have that secondary web. They can do that top-down webcam, but they like auto keystone distort it to get it. And it's like, oh, that's actually useful.
Yeah. Speaking of Macs, or at least Apple products in general, did you see Godot, the game engine? Apple engineers put out a pull request to add Vision OS support. They want Godot to be able to run on their own private headset. I'm curious.
The current rumors going around is at the same time of them, definitely not this year, at minimum next year. But when they do the Vision headset 2, they will also be making a Vision Air, which will be a non-compute box. It will just be an external display. It'll some compute, but it won't be a self-contained thing. It will be what people want it. They want it as a goddamn monitor for their Mac. Because that's what a lot of people are doing with it.
Yeah.
I want this visual experience, but I want to plug it into my actual goddamn computer. So if they make it the Air, they make it lighter, it won't need the battery pack because you'll be plugging it into a goddamn computer. It drops the power. You won't need the front. You won't need as much of the spatial. I'm walking around tracking stuff. It'll just be a wearable display.
Yeah.
That's where they're going with it, and that's why they need the Vision OS Lite just without the tracking stuff, and they want to add a lot of those apps to it. Because you know what? If I could just sit here, recline in a nice comfortable chair and throw on the headset and watch a movie,
Oh yeah.
and full masked out, but I would pay a stupid amount of money for that.
Put that on your rich list. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I could see that. That really is a primo use case for something like that. It is.
Okay. There's something on my rich list that I would spend a stupid amount of money for no good reason. I would love a good VR set.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd also need like the space to use it, but like a good VR whole setup, and the computer and the rig and the lighthouses and all the accoutrement and all the stuff. But I would probably get into some of that stuff.
It's
There's
neat.
well, no, not just that. There's a lot of experiences there's versions of games that only exist in VR.
Yeah.
I played the Room series with the box and the thing.
Yeah.
There's one of those that's a VR only game.
There's an achievement. You and I have talked a lot about achievements. And this is I understood it, but I understand it viscerally now. Like, yes, it made sense to me, but now I have been bitten by it. There's an achievement in Hyperbolica that you get by playing the game with the VR headset. That's the only way to get the achievement, and all you have to do is play the game with the VR headset. And they have a workaround, You can change a config file to fake it, but like that would be an amazing game to experience in VR in the first place. The whole point is the game is about hyperbolic geometry. The whole point is that the game is built in a way that exceeds the limits of our 3 linear dimensions spatially. So playing that in VR would be amazing. I would love that so much. It would be mind-breaking, literally.
Mind blasting.
Have you seen the turn-based fighting game? I have not seen the turn-based fighting game. I am so curious. I am so curious now. It kind of reminds me of the old books with the page turn rules. You pick a move and you tell the opponent a number and they look it up on their chart and flip to a page in the book, and they tell you a number and you flip to the page in your book.
What?
I will find them and show them to you. They had a bunch of... It was kind of like competitive choose your own adventure. Let me find this for you.
What the... What?
This is a thing that existed. Back up, baby. Back up. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, I'm sharing a screen. The X-Wing versus TIE Interceptor battle books. It had a set of rules in the beginning to tell you how to play. And each of the pages had a thing at the bottom. And using the rules and deciding what actions you wanted to take, you would tell the opponent something, and they would use the guide at the bottom to figure out what page they turn to in their books. One of you would have an X-Wing book, and one of you would have a TIE Interceptor book. And the premise was you would act out a space fight by both of you having these books and telling each other which page to flip to based on what actions you were doing.
Dude.
Yeah, they had the X-Wing and the TIE Interceptor ones. And
okay, that's like straight out of like the 70s and 80s. Okay.
yeah, Yeah. Yeah. And the premise was they'd have a bunch more of them, and I don't know that they did for Star Wars or not, but they did have like D&D style character duels as well. The wizard and the barbarian and whatever, but they had books like that. These are things that existed, and they were neat. They were called battle books.
Okay, I have an idea. You take one of those old choose your own adventure books, right? And you OCR scan all of the text, all of the pages, but straight through linearly, just front to back.
Yeah.
You feed that into an LLM and have it analyze it and say, make me a map of this book. And just whoosh, and it would just generate all the paths through it. But start from the beginning and read it and process it and do a depth search beginning to end and note the things and go back and just run every permutation of this and map it out into a visual mind map, like just flowchart tree of all the decisions and the loops and this, and just map the book. Because it would do that damn near instantly.
Yeah.
Actually, that one might take a little bit of crunching power because it would have to hold a lot of context, but tokenize each of the pages and then it's just go through them. But it could run all the permutations of all the pages pretty damn quickly. And say, now, based on how this is laid out and based on this structure, go generate me more.
the semi-endless choose your own adventure, huh?
No. Not endless. The same size and same structure, but generate me an endless generation of choose your own adventure books.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing I hated is I did all of them. I memorized all of them. I played all of them. I even played all the Mario branded ones.
Yeah.
And then I did all the Boxcar Children ones. And then I did all the Little House on the Prairie ones and all the different IP based spin off ones. I did all of them because they had them at the library and I had a lot of free time. And we lived close enough to the library and I walked up there and I would do an entire book in a day.
Yeah.
All of it. All the
Just
permutations.
top to bottom, yeah.
Yes. Disc. No, sure. You cannot have a Discworld FromSoft game. No.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you can't have it. I'm not going to tell you can't have it.
I might would actually play the game. That's the other reason I never liked the Souls game. That whole the aesthetic of the horror gothic, fantasy, whatever that aesthetic is. I don't really enjoy it.
There was a movement in the choose your own adventure books for a hot minute there where they wanted to make it difficult, although there's an upper bound on how difficult that can be. There were some adventure games for the PC that had the same problem. Like, oh, you didn't pick up the pebble at the beginning of the game. Congratulations. You can't beat it despite the fact that you've made it to the ending over the past 6 hours. Off the desk. Go.
We had at school when I was in elementary school. So this would have been either very late 80s, very early 90s, somewhere around there. We had computer club once a week. It was a half hour after school, and you got to go and play games in the computer lab. And these were on Commodore 64s, okay?
Yep.
And the thing is I had a Commodore at home, and I had 2 shoeboxes full of games. But I didn't have any of the fun educational games. But I knew how to play the fuck out of a Commodore. I rolled in there with my fast boot cartridge, and I would slam it in the back, and everybody else is like hunting and pecking, typing load 8-1, and I'm just like, turn it on, go. There was a game, and I don't know the name of this game. I'm trying to find it. It was some sort of one of those typing, choose your own adventure, pick up rock, take,
Yeah.
drop no T. It came with, I don't know if it was a moonstone or whatever, a little glow in the dark pebble that was some key aspect of the game. It was some MacGuffin in the game or something. That's why it came physically in the box.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where, like, towards the beginning of, like, take pebble or take moonstone, and whether or not you left it, that's why they kept it there to remind you, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this is important. If you find it in the game, you should also pick it up because you're also holding it. But I have no idea what the hell the name of this game was. I don't remember anything else about it.
I will absolutely find it for you.
But I can't imagine there was too many, like, typing text-based adventure games on the Commodore 64 that would have been in an educational context because the school had it. Maybe it's like a
Yeah.
teaching typing thing. But I loved that game so much. I was so good at it. And I kept stupid extensive notes because, like I said, I only got to play it once a week for a half hour. And so,
What?
and I couldn't.
Kind of like that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was boop from the Zork trilogy. So it wasn't so much that it was educational, it was just typing.
Oh, okay.
But it was from the Zork trilogy because they also had one Zork midcoin in the box with it.
Yeah.
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 Zork trilogy. There you go.
I remember there was the rock and there was other, like, things in the
Yep.
box. Oh God.
Is that your chaotic neutral ring?
Yeah, kind of. But, like, I had a whole notebook because I could only play it for a half hour. And
Yep.
so I had to restart each week, but I could, like, speed run to get back to where, and I, over the course of this entire 5th grade year, I mapped out this entire game and I finally finished it. And the computer teacher there was so amazed because, man, I could type like a motherfucker in 5th grade.
Yep.
Because everybody else got once a week in the computer lab and maybe another half hour if you also went to computer club. I had a Commodore at home. I typed like crazy.
All the time. Yep.
I programmed on it.
You miss LucasArts?
Yes, this is why I'm good at computers. This is how early I started.
I also miss LucasArts. Loom. Now, you want to talk about a game that needs a remake? Loom. The point-and-click adventure game Loom deserves a remake. A modern, real remake, honestly. It was such an outstanding game. And they did do a remaster at least a little bit. But, like, I would love to see it remastered with now modern technology. And rescored because the music was such a big part of that game. 100%. You know, they keep making film adaptations of games. They did Battleship and all of that. Loom is worthy of a film adaptation. I will 100% hands down say that. I would go see in the theaters at full ticket price a film based on Loom. As long as they didn't try and make a tongue-in-cheek comedy parody of it. If they treated the source material seriously, because there's funny shit in it, yeah, absolutely. But it was a serious premise. And if it was given the appropriate, man. I'm not going to start talking about Wizards and Warriors just because we're talking about games that I wish would come back. I know that's kind of my go-to anymore. I think I might play those this weekend. Or sometime soon when I get a chance to play games. I think I might dust off the cartridges and play them on my totally legitimate systems. 'Cause I miss those games. They're so good. They're so good. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird trying to track down who actually owns rights to some of these things too. So many acquisitions and all of that.
In some of the cases, like nobody, because there were games that were like published by LucasArts or something, but
Yeah.
like were not developed by them, and then those just went away because that's the actual developer like never made another thing.
Is it? Let me go see. Is it on Good Old Games? It is. It's $6 on Good Old Games. Go buy Loom. Go buy Loom. 254 meg.
GOG client here.
There we go. Yeah. Go check this game out for yourself. Like we're raving about it. Chad is raving about it. This is one very, very much worth playing. Don't let the 1990 release scare you. It's so good. It's so good. It really is.
Oh,
Yeah, this one.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on Steam as well, honestly.
Probably.
And look, all the Leisure Suit Larry games. Boo. Anyway. Yeah. I'm glad to see a lot of development. Okay. I'm gonna talk about the gaming industry in general for a second. I'm glad people are getting tired of Call of Madden. I'm glad people are hitting their limits
Yes.
with the same
Yes.
old franchises, and that innovation is now actually being respected at the big scale. I'm still always going to push for the little guys, not just because we're the little guys right now, but, you know, I want people who are not afraid to do things very differently. Blueprints is a perfect example of that. They do things very differently than a lot of other games out there. And you can point and say, this is kind of like, that is kind of like, and disassemble it. But, you know, at what point are you saying this has eggs, that has eggs, but one's an omelet, one's a cake, you know? I know we're going back to food. The point is, this is your fault. Now I'm thinking about cake and it's your fault. I praise innovation, especially if it fails. Every failure is an obstacle removed from the path to success. Do not be afraid to do something bad and wrong, because you never know if it's accidentally right, and if it's not, it's a thing you won't do again.
I know we don't normally do recommendations, but you want a game you like innovation and neat shit that does shit differently, Mr. Blueprints over there?
Yeah.
I want to recommend Patrick's Parabox.
I have beaten that one all the way through. I will second that recommendation. It is outstanding. And
oh yeah, I see your icon there now. 22.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Patrick's Parabox is fantastic. Patrick's Parabox is a great example of how you don't need to be amazing at all parts of it to make an engaging game. Because if you go look at the graphics, they're simple. They're simple and they're clear. It's developer art. Maybe it's been, polished a little bit, but the point is, this is not something where the visuals took a focus. The visuals worked in service of the game mechanic.
Yeah.
Yes, I have played a ton of Patrick's Parabox. Thomas Was Alone is kind of the same way. It had a novel mechanic for the way the puzzles worked, and the characters are shapes. Hard stop. Not even faces. The characters are shapes. But go play Thomas Was Alone because they took colorful rectangles and made them characters you connected with.
I think we're starting to see a critical mass crash of graphics.
Yeah.
Because for the last bit of time here, it was more polygons, more ray tracing, more FPS, and you end up with these video cards that, you know, are pulling 600 watts of power and melting themselves to render real-time RTX, you know, 4K, 120 FPS, 3D graphics, and people are like, yeah, but the game is shit.
Yeah.
It's the same first person looter shooter, maybe like there's only like 3 or 4 types of games you can really do with this to take advantage of that, and you're retheming the same first person engine in slightly different ways. And I think like the Madden crash just like has destroyed this, you know, COD is finally destroying, it has collapsed.
Yeah.
You know, the looter shooters are now collapsing. All the AAA games are starting to implode on themselves because they have saturated themselves and ate themselves to death. And now everybody's making these video cards that nobody can buy because they're either too expensive or they're being bought out, and you can't play the new games without the cards. And it's like, well, we can't afford the cards, and you can't get the cards, and you can't afford them, and they can't make them fast enough to do what?
Yeah. More triangles. More triangles.
Yeah. And then you got a million indie devs out here of various, not even solo indie devs, just smaller development studios out here just making fun games.
Yeah.
That are cheap and affordable, and for the cost of one $80, you know, new game you're gonna jump with microtransactions, you can go get 3 or 4 of those. Go get one every month.
Yeah.
Go get a new game. Actually play it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And they're leaning into different aesthetics. That's why you've seen the big boom in the pixel games. That's why you've seen the big boom in the cartoon cozy stuff. Is we don't have to cater to the shooter bros anymore.
Yeah.
There was a significant period of time where there was a dedicated market, and it was the shooter bros. And yeah.
First person RTX Geometry Wars.
Hang on. Let me get my notebook. You barely need a graphics card at all because you're drawing an triangle, singular.
First person asteroids. Same controls. Just render the visual first person.
That sounds awful. Let's do it.
Exactly, risk. That's the thing, though, is you could, with not too technology and development and gaming packages have gotten to the point, you could make a game that is awful in a week or 2 or maybe a month. You could get that prototype out this weekend. You could polish it over a month, and you could have that on Steam in under 30 days. And somebody out there would buy it just to leave that bad review. But you could have that out there. It doesn't take 7 years of development and hundreds of millions of dollars of things and an $80 price tag to justify that. Just turn out a shit game.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And with all of the things we have at our disposal, it's accessible to anybody. You have to actually want to do it, and you can discover once you start that, hey, I am not enjoying this. I no longer want to do it. But not knowing what you're doing when you start is no longer as much of an impediment as it feels like, because there are tools like LLMs for coding. There are engines out there. There are a lot of drag and drop graphical coding things. There's free tools to do your sound, your graphics, your whatever.
There's asset libraries of infinite different qualities, but you could get something started for go grab free asset packs. Get it started for free. If you don't like it, swap them out later. It's just dropping a different goddamn file in there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it 100% it does. It does.
The eShop, yeah, just they opened that up, and it's the problem with the Nintendo eShop is it was not designed to be Steam, but it has turned into Steam, where it is accessible to get stuff on there a lot quicker. That was weird. And it does not hold up to be able to browse through pages and pages of shovelware anymore.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Steam does that better because, for one thing, you're not on a screen this big with 1 hertz of processing power. Yeah, a Steam Deck. That would be something else that if I honestly, I think that's what I would do if I had $1,000 to drop on absolutely anything, no questions asked. I would probably go get the most pimped out Steam Deck. I'd get the highest capacity, blah blah blah, and then I would go get the screen upgrade kit and the good battery pack. I would get all the good upgrades for it. But yeah, there's games I would play portably if I could, but I don't want to play.
You don't want to have to bake in a time to play it at a place.
There's games I would play if I could just pick them up and play and continue where I was at. But there's games I have bought on the Steam, on the Switch, that I already have on Steam that I don't want to restart over, or I want to be able to play them also on the computer, and Steam solves that.
Yeah. They really have. They've done a good job with it too. Well, we are coming up on time, and I did promise Amaya that I would be around to moderate for her tonight, so we are going to head over here shortly to Amaya's charity stream for Community of Champions supporting Heroes of Time this weekend. Like I said, go join the Discord. You're already in the Discord. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll put the command in here just for good measure, but keep apprised of what's going on there. Tomorrow I will be doing a charity stream of my own for Community of Champions. Friday I should be back with music. Who knows what's going on this weekend, but your only place to find out that news is there. Yes, you've been around for all those conversations. Anyway, thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we will catch you next time around. Be safe, be well.